One blown whistle, one bad call, one moment that changed football forever. From botched coin tosses to miracle laterals, these aren't just controversial plays. They're game changers that left fans outraged and the NFL scrambling. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most controversial plays in NFL history. And trust us, you're still not over some of them. Thanksgiving Day, 1998. Steelers versus Lions. It's overtime. The tension is thick, the crowd is electric, and millions are watching with plates of turkey in their laps. Then comes the coin toss. Jerome Bettis, a veteran leader, calls tails, clear as day to most viewers. But referee Phil Luckett hears something different. He claims Bettis said heads tails. Huh? The coin lands on tails. But the Lions get the ball. Just 2:52 into overtime, they march down the field and win on a field goal. And just like that, what should have been a neutral toss turns into one of the most controversial officiating moments in NFL history.
Heads is the call. He said heads, it is a tails.
The broadcast replays the audio again and again. Bettis insists he called tails. Steelers players are irate. Coach Bill Cowher is speechless. The media storms the post-game presser. It's a coin flip. How do you mess that up? But the fallout was real. January 23, 2000. The underdog Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trailing the high-powered St. Louis Rams, aka the greatest show on turf, by just 5 points. Less than a minute left. Third down. Sean King finds Burt Emanuel on a crucial 13-yard slant. He dives, secures the ball, full control. First down inside the Rams' 22-yard line, but wait, the replay booth buzzes in. After a review that felt like a lifetime, the officials overturned the catch. The reason? The nose of the football touched the ground, even though Emanuel never lost possession. The ruling, incomplete. The crowd gasps. The sideline implodes. Tampa's momentum? Gone. The Bucs fail to convert on fourth down. Rams win. Super Bowl dreams crushed. Here's what made it so controversial. Emanuel never bobbled the ball. He had it the whole way through. But the ball touching the ground, even when totally controlled, was enough to erase one of the biggest plays in Bucs history. Fans and analysts were stunned. If that wasn't a catch, what was? One wrong call, one outdated rule, and one receiver's legacy etched into NFL history, not for what he caught, but for what the refs didn't see. It's December 12th, 1982. Patriots versus Dolphins in the middle of a vicious New England blizzard. Snow's coming down in sheets. The field, basically a glacier. Nobody can score. It's 0-0 with just minutes left in the game. Then the Patriots line up for a field goal, but instead of relying on luck or footing, head coach Ron Meyer gives a quiet order. Get the snowplow. Enter Mark Henderson, a stadium worker. Oh, and also a convicted burglar on work release. He fires up the John Deere tractor and clears a perfect rectangle of turf for kicker John Smith. Bang, field goal. Patriots win 3-0. And Don Shula, absolutely fuming on the opposite sideline. It was a moment that broke every unwritten rule in the book. Was it technically illegal? Many thought so. And the fact it was done by a guy with a criminal record just added fuel to the controversy. Week 2 of the 2008 season, Broncos versus Chargers. It's a shootout. Jay Cutler is slinging it. Denver trails by a touchdown, but they're in the red zone, inside the 2-minute warning. Then disaster or salvation, depending on who you're rooting for. Cutler drops back on 2nd and goal, and he fumbles. The ball clearly comes out of his hand. Chargers recover. Game over. Or is it? Ed Hochuli, one of the most respected refs in the game, blows the whistle and calls it an incomplete pass. He killed the play prematurely before the review could change the ruling. Replay shows it wasn't even close. Ball was out before Cutler's arm moved forward, but thanks to NFL rules at the time, once the whistle was blown, possession couldn't be awarded to the defense, so Denver keeps the ball. They score, go for two, and win 39-38. This one blew up across the league. The NFL changed the rule almost immediately. Now, if a whistle kills a play prematurely, the defense can still get the ball back after replay. As for Hochuli, he publicly admitted the mistake, a rare moment of accountability, but the damage was done. It's a textbook example of why timing matters more than ever in officiating. It was one of the wildest playoff collapses in NFL history. The Giants had a 38-14 lead over the 49ers late in the third quarter. The comeback? Legendary. San Francisco scores 25 unanswered points. But even after that, the Giants somehow put themselves in position to win, just one clean snap and a field goal away. But the snap is bad. Holder Matt Allen tries to salvage the play by launching a desperation pass toward offensive lineman Rich Subert, who had legally reported as an eligible receiver before the play. As the ball floats toward him, 49ers defender Chike Okorafor grabs and tackles him before the ball even arrives. Obvious pass interference, right? Nope. The refs don't call pass interference. Instead, they flag the Giants for having an ineligible man downfield, despite the fact Sobert had legally reported eligible. Total officiating meltdown. The NFL publicly admitted the refs got it wrong. This rare admission led to mandatory review training for referees specifically regarding eligible players and end-of-game chaos. It also prompted the league to rethink how offensive linemen declaring eligibility is communicated and verified during crucial moments. For Giants fans, it was salt in the wound after a blown 24-point lead. For the NFL, it was another reminder that bad officiating can undo even the best comebacks or prevent them entirely. September 10th, 1978. Raiders versus Chargers, final seconds. The Raiders are down 20-14, and they're 14 yards away from the end zone. No timeouts, one play left, and what happens next? Pure chaos, or depending on your perspective, pure genius. Quarterback Ken Stabler is about to be sacked when he clearly, intentionally tosses the ball forward, essentially fumbles it. Running back Pete Banaszak then bats it even closer to the goal line. Then tight end Dave Casper kicks and bobbles the ball before finally falling on it in the end zone. Touchdown Raiders, game over, Chargers fans are furious. And the NFL, blindsided. There were no rules at the time against advancing a fumble in the final seconds, so technically the play stood, but the league knew immediately. This was abuse of the rules in the most high-stakes moment possible. The NFL instituted the Holy Roller Rule before the season ended. In the final 2 minutes of a game, only the player who fumbles can advance the ball. No more volleyball-style fumbles into the end zone. This rule still stands today and is one of the rare examples where a single play directly triggered a permanent rule change. Wildcard Weekend 1999, Bills versus Titans. With just 16 seconds left, the Bills kick a short squib, up by 1. Tennessee's season is hanging by a thread. Lorenzo Neal fields it, hands it to tight end Frank Wycheck, who turns and fires a lateral across the entire width of the field to Kevin Dyson. Dyson catches it, turns on the Jets, and sprints 75 yards to the end zone. Touchdown. Titans win. The stadium erupts. But everyone watching, including every Buffalo fan, asks the same question. Was that a lateral or a forward pass? The throw was razor close. Even frame-by-frame reviews couldn't give a clear answer. The NFL eventually ruled that because the trajectory of the pass was parallel to, or slightly backward from Wycheck's release point, it was a legal lateral. But to this day, the debate rages. A miracle for Tennessee, a curse for Buffalo, and one of the most dissected throws in NFL history. It was a national embarrassment. Week 3, 2012, Monday Night Football, Seahawks versus Packers. The NFL referee lockout was in full swing, and replacement refs, most of whom had never officiated a pro game, were being asked to call the biggest moments in football. With 8 seconds left, Russell Wilson launches a Hail Mary into the end zone. Packers safety Chimwemdi Jennings jumps highest and grabs the ball cleanly, but Seahawks receiver Golden Tate who pushed off earlier in the play, also gets an arm around it as they fall to the ground. One ref signals touchdown, another signals interception. Absolute confusion. After a booth review, the call somehow stands. Touchdown Seahawks, they win 14-12, and the NFL universe loses its mind. One of the darkest officiating moments in NFL history, and the final straw that forced the league's hand. January 19th, 2002, the AFC Divisional Round, Patriots versus Raiders. It's snowing so hard in Foxborough, it looks like a snow globe exploded. Under 2 minutes to go, the Patriots trail by 3. Tom Brady drops back, gets rocked by Charles Woodson. The ball pops loose. Raiders recover. Game over, or so we thought. But then the refs huddle. They pull out a rule that few had even heard of, the tuck rule. NFL Rule 3, Section 22, Article 2, Note 2. It states that if a quarterback begins a forward pass motion and then tucks the ball back toward his body, any loss of control is considered an incomplete pass, not a fumble. Never mind that Brady had clearly pulled the ball back in. Never mind that even Patriots fans were confused. The ruling stood. Incomplete. Patriots keep the ball. Adam Vinatieri hits a miracle 45-yarder in the blizzard to tie it, then wins it in overtime. The dynasty begins, and the Raiders spiral. December 23rd, 1972. AFC Divisional Playoffs, Raiders versus Steelers. Pittsburgh trails 7-6. 4th and 10 from their own 40. Terry Bradshaw scrambles, throws over the middle to Frenchie Fuqua. Raiders safety. Jack Tatum launches in. The ball ricochets into the air. Suddenly, Franco Harris appears out of nowhere, snatches the ball inches from the turf, and races into the end zone. Touchdown. Game over. History made. But here's where things get messy. In 1972, if an offensive player touched the ball first, another offensive player couldn't legally catch it. If the ball hit Fuqua first and not Tatum, it should have been ruled incomplete. The problem, the TV footage didn't clearly show who the ball hit. The refs huddled, made the call, touchdown, and chaos broke out in Pittsburgh and across the country. The play was so controversial that the referees had to be escorted off the field by police, and the debate continues to this day. Even the game film has been studied frame by frame for decades, with no definitive answer. One catch, one deflection, one dynasty born from pure uncertainty. And the mystery? Still unsolved. From snowplows to tuck rules, from miracle laterals to misheard coin tosses, these weren't just controversial calls. They were inflection points that changed an NFL history. Rules were rewritten, legends were made, and fan bases forever divided. But now we want to hear from you. Which one was the worst? Which one still keeps you up at night? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love diving deep into football's most explosive moments, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. This is Behind the Blitz, where the controversy never ends.